What's going on, everyone? Joey Keith here, and today I'm going to go over everything I know about daily ops and Fallout 76, what they are, how to do them, all the rewards, and if you stay until the end, I will show you the build that I like to use to run daily ops solo. Daily Ops is a PvE game mode in Fallout 76 that aims to provide challenging, randomized, and repeatable dungeon clearing missions for experienced players. They take place in an instance dungeon and randomize the objectives, locations, enemies, and their mutations every day. Yes, that's right, the enemies have mutations, and that will have a significant impact on gameplay. Some mutations cause enemies to always detect sneaking players, while others grant the cloaking effect, but don't let that be a concern because you will still run these dungeons solo. Here's a list of all the locations, enemy factions, and their mutations. During daily ops, the player will complete various jobs for Vernon Dodge, a member of Appalachia's original Brotherhood of Steel. The quest Breaking Radio Silence introduces daily ops to the plot of the game, but it's not required in order to join them. As of right now, there are two modes: Uplink, where the player is to activate a signal repeater and calibrate uplinks before drawing out an enemy leader by eliminating its forces, and Decryption, where the player will disable radio interceptors by taking down carriers. Before I show you the modes and what to do, I want to show you some of the stats, gear, and consumables that can help you with daily ops. If you die, the game takes you to the beginning of the dungeon, so I'm going to recommend a high health tank build because daily ops are timed and enemies hit hard. I know some people out there can run these with low health bloody builds, but for most of us, I think that tanks are just easier. I go to the card puncher machine and create a loadout just for daily ops. I like to put as many points in endurance as I can because it adds points to your health. As you can see, I didn't put 15 points in my build, but it will help if you do. I'm going to suggest the Chem Fiend perk card because we're going to be using Berry Mentats. Since we're going solo, we need to take the Lone Wanderer card. Fireproof helps because there are usually a lot of explosions, and you can take a refractor if you're going to go up against like robots or something. The rest of the perk points and cards will depend on what weapon you use and your playstyle. This is what I use for a heavy gunner build, and it works for me. For gear, I have to say that power armor is a must. The energy and ballistics damage resistance you get from them is better in most cases. And if you can get legendary effects like Vanguard or Overeaters, then that will help too, but not necessary. I recommend any weapon with the Vampire's legendary effect because whenever your health starts getting low, you can just take out a few enemies to bring it back. Sometimes you will have to look for enemies, and other times they will be cloaked, so use Berry Mentats. If you can, eat blood bug steak or a hot dog to bring up your max health. Passing sausage is better if you have that recipe. Eat scorched beast steak or Mirelurk jerky for damage resistance. If you give the ally Leo Petrov a Nuka Cola Quantum, he will raise your max health too. Let's talk about rewards before we get into the walkthrough. I'll link a list down below for all the details, but there are 3 tiers based on completion time, and each one offers its own pool of rewards. Initiate for finishing 16 minutes or less, Paladin for 12 minutes or less, or Elder if you can finish 8 minutes or less. Each tier has a chance to drop a rare item along with other rewards, and if you complete the run with Elder, then you will get all the rewards for all 3 tiers in one run. If you complete as a Paladin, then you will get the rewards for Paladin and for Initiate. In other words, it's always worth trying out daily ops because you will get rewards no matter how long it takes you to complete, and there are 3 different chances for you to get a rare reward, so don't worry if you can't complete them at Elder every time you play. Go to your map, click the button to expand the world activities menu, then click on daily ops. This shows you all the information about the op. At the top, it will tell you if it's an uplink or decryption, and right below will tell you the objective. In the intel section, it will tell you the location, enemy faction, and the recommended level. The enemy mutation section tells you the mutations that the enemies will have, and the reward tiers section tell you what rewards you have already obtained for that op. Now you can click on the join button to start the mode. I'm going to go over Uplink first. It's by far the easiest one, and I suggest always running it every time it's on the daily op. Once you get past the loading screen, it will put you at the beginning of the dungeon. Once you start start moving, the timer will start. So I recommend taking your mentats, if you have them, and equipping your weapon before moving. In Uplink, the first thing Vernon will instruct you to do is repair the signal repeater. You don't need to take out any enemies, just go straight to the objective point and repair the repeater. As soon as you have done that, Vernon will tell you to boost the signal at either site Alpha or Bravo. Without taking out any enemies, I just go straight to the closest objective. The only time you need to shoot an enemy is if you need health, and that's only if you're using the vampire's weapon I talked about earlier. Once you get to the uplink, hold down the button to boost it. Right after that, you will need to stand close to it so it will boost faster. At this point, a wave of enemies will come at you. You can take them out if you want, but they will just keep coming. So the most important thing to do is stand beside the uplink. I usually don't shoot unless I need health. That way I'm saving on ammo. At this point, you don't have to worry about looting dead enemies either. Once the uplink is boosted, Vernon will direct you to boost the remaining uplink. Go straight there as fast as you can and do the same thing you did with the first one. Once the second uplink is boosted, you will be told to locate the enemy group. Go to the spot located on the compass, and then enemies will be shown with the little diamond on top of their heads. Take them out as fast as you can. You will now be directed to eliminate the enemy leader. Go to them and use the weapon that has the most damage to take them down as fast as possible. As soon as the leader goes down, the op will be complete. Now, before you press the button to view the operations report, take some time to loot the downed enemies. You will have about 5 minutes to do this. View the report, then view the rewards. That's it. You're done. Now I'm going to go over Decryption. I will say that this one is pretty hard if the mutations are certain ones like freezing touch and resilient, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go for it. Go to the op the same way you did with Uplink, and as soon as you're past the loading screen, you will be at the beginning of the dungeon. For this one, I highly recommend taking berry mentats because right away you will be told to track down and eliminate 8 enemies, and they won't be on your radar until you get pretty close. Those mentats will help you see them. Run around as fast as you can and eliminate all that you see. Vernon will now tell you to eliminate the carrier to obtain the first code, but he doesn't know exactly which one has the code and will mark 3 enemies with a diamond. I usually just run up and take them out one by one until Vernon lets me know we have the code and can disable any interceptor. At this point, you will need to go straight to the closest one and disable it. Don't take out any enemies right now because right after that, Vernon will tell you to eliminate 10 more enemies, so it will be a lot easier if they're already right there around you. Once you do that, you will have to get another code, disable another interceptor, and then you will have to take out another 12 enemies. For the final code, it should be only 1 enemy, but this one has a lot of health, so it will take a lot of ammo to take them down. But once they're down, go to the final interceptor and disable it. Once it's disabled, all the remaining enemies will fall and the op will be complete. You can now go loot all the downed enemies, then check your rewards before leaving. You can see here that even though I didn't finish at Elder rank, still got some decent rewards, and it only took about 10 minutes. So even though it's pretty hard, it's still worth the try. Now that you know all about daily ops, I hope you can get all those cool rewards. I really hope this video helped you, and if it did, then think about subscribing to the channel. And if you want to see more content about Fallout 76, then click the like and notification icons below. If you're interested in the gear that I use to play games and make videos, links are down in the description. I'm an Amazon associate, so I will get a small commission if you use the link, and it doesn't cost you any extra. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in supporting the channel directly, down in the description as well. Once again, this is Joey Keith, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Later.